These plants might look breathtaking at first glance, the kind of lush greenery and striking blooms that could make any neighbor green with envy. But don't be deceived by their beauty. Planting some of these species could turn out to be the single worst decision you ever make in your garden. They are invasive, destructive, and in many cases, almost impossible to remove once they've taken hold. Worse still, a few can poison your pets, ruin your soil for decades, or cause property damage worth thousands of dollars. Stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal might shock you. Many of these plants are surprisingly common. They're sold in big-name garden centers, recommended by well-meaning friends, and sometimes even gifted by neighbors. You might already have one growing in your yard right now, and have no idea of the danger it poses. By the time we're done, you'll know exactly which plants to avoid and why seasoned gardeners view them as the fast track to a nightmare garden. Today, we're counting down 15 plants that may appear to be garden treasures, but are, in reality, garden traps. From a beautiful vine that can literally tear apart your house to an ornamental flower that could send you straight to the hospital, these aren't just casual gardening mistakes. They are potential disasters in disguise. Ticking time bombs ready to go off in your backyard. Let's start with a plant that is almost certainly growing somewhere within a mile of your home right now. And if you're serious about protecting your garden, your wallet, and your family from costly mistakes, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell right here on Golden Years Lifestyle Hub. The advice in this video could save you thousands of dollars, spare you from backbreaking removal work, and keep your loved ones safe. Now, let's begin with our first dangerous beauty. Number 15. Running bamboo. If you're picturing a tranquil privacy screen swaying in the breeze, you might be thinking of bamboo. And yes, it's true, running bamboo varieties look graceful, grow rapidly, and create that serene, zen garden feel everyone loves. Garden centers even market them as the perfect natural fencing or low-maintenance privacy barrier. But here's what they don't advertise. Running bamboo has earned the nickname green concrete among landscapers for a reason. It spreads through underground rhizomes that can travel as far as 20 feet from the original planting in a single growing season. These rhizomes are so powerful they can crack concrete foundations, burst underground pipes, and even push through asphalt driveways. Unlike clumping bamboo, which stays contained, running bamboo is an underground bulldozer, unstoppable once it's established. Removing it isn't a weekend DIY job. You'll likely need heavy equipment and professional crews, with removal bills reaching $10,000 or more. And here's the kicker. Leave behind even the tiniest rhizome fragment, and it will regenerate into a brand new invasion. Some property insurance companies now refuse to cover damage caused by bamboo because it's so predictable and entirely preventable. Number 14. English ivy. Few plants have the old-world charm of English ivy. It's a lush, elegant climber often pictured draping historic brick walls or carpeting shady ground with a rich green quilt. It thrives in difficult spots, covers bare areas quickly, and gives a property that timeless, estate-like feel. Unfortunately, English ivy doesn't know when to stop. This plant is not a polite ground cover. It's a conqueror. It smothers the plants beneath it, choking out trees by depriving them of sunlight and adding dangerous weight to their branches. When it scales buildings, its clinging tendrils act like tiny crowbars, prying apart mortar, weakening brickwork, and opening pathways for moisture that can cause severe structural damage. The repairs from such damage can run into tens of thousands of dollars. It's not just your walls at risk. Dense ivy mats create ideal hiding spots for rats, snakes, and other pests right up against your home. Once ivy becomes established, removing it can take years of relentless work. Professional removal often leaves behind scars on the surfaces it clings to, forcing homeowners to invest in costly brick repointing or siding replacement. Number 13. Oleander. This is one of the most striking yet most dangerous plants you can bring into your garden. Oleander produces stunning clusters of flowers in shades of pink, white, and red, blooms for months on end, and tolerates drought with ease. It's even deer-resistant, which makes it tempting for landscaping in areas where wildlife can decimate other plants. But beneath its beauty lies a deadly truth. Every part of the oleander plant contains highly toxic cardiac glycosides. The toxins are so potent that a single leaf can kill a horse. Even lightly brushing against it and then touching your face can cause severe skin irritation. Burning oleander trimmings releases toxic smoke that can send people to the hospital, and honey made from oleander flowers is poisonous. Emergency rooms see cases of oleander poisoning regularly. Children drawn to its bright flowers, pets chewing on its branches, and adults who forget to wash their hands after pruning. There's no antidote. Symptoms range from severe nausea and heart complications to seizures, coma, and death. Growing oleander on your property not only puts lives at risk, but also exposes you to massive legal liability should someone become ill from it. Number 12. Giant hogweed. This plant is not just hazardous. In some states, it's outright illegal to grow. Standing up to 14 feet tall with huge, umbrella-like clusters of white flowers, giant hogweed looks almost magical. Some people mistake it for an ornamental curiosity, while others collect it for dried arrangements. But the sap of giant hogweed contains phototoxic chemicals that react violently with sunlight, causing extreme burns. We're not talking about mild rashes. These are third-degree burns that can leave permanent scars. If the sap gets into your eyes, it can cause permanent blindness. Simply brushing against the plant in shorts or short sleeves can lead to injuries severe enough to require skin grafts. This plant spreads aggressively along waterways, roadsides, and open fields. In many areas, there are municipal teams whose sole job is to eradicate hogweed because of the threat it poses to public health. Grow it where it's banned, and you could face heavy fines in addition to the danger it brings. Number 11. Kudzu. Nicknamed the vine that ate the South, kudzu is the very definition of an invasive monster. Originally introduced for ornamental use and later promoted for erosion control, kudzu has attractive foliage and lovely purple flowers that smell faintly like grape soda. But under the right conditions, it can grow an astonishing 1 foot per day. This speed allows it to engulf everything in its path: trees, buildings, power lines, even entire forests. The sheer weight of its vines can bring down mature trees, and the mass of dead plant matter it leaves behind creates a severe fire hazard. Under a blanket of kudzu, entire ecosystems vanish. The USDA estimates kudzu causes $500 million in economic damage annually through lost productivity and costly control measures. Once it gains a foothold, eradicating it takes years of persistent herbicide treatments, and many properties become practically unusable. In some cases, insurance companies won't even cover land infested with kudzu. Number 10. Japanese knotweed. This plant's destructive power is so notorious that in the UK, simply having it on your property can prevent you from getting a mortgage. With tall, bamboo-like stems, heart-shaped leaves, and sprays of small white flowers, it looks relatively harmless, even charming. Some people even eat the young shoots, claiming they taste like rhubarb. But below the surface lies a sprawling network of rhizomes capable of extending 20 feet horizontally and burrowing 10 feet deep. These rhizomes can crack concrete, undermine building foundations, and push through asphalt. What makes knotweed especially insidious is its ability to regrow from the tiniest fragment. Even a piece as small as a fingernail can regenerate into a full infestation. It's hard to believe, but Japanese knotweed can even push its way up through floor cracks and emerge inside houses. In the UK, professional removal often costs between £10,000 and £20,000, and only licensed contractors with specialized insurance are permitted to tackle it. Entire neighborhoods have seen property values plummet because of this plant's presence. In many areas, you're legally required to disclose knotweed infestations to potential buyers, and failing to do so can land you in serious legal trouble, including lawsuits. Number 9. Tree of Heaven. Don't let the name fool you. Despite sounding angelic, the Tree of Heaven comes straight from the depths of gardening hell. It's toxic, invasive, and almost impossible to kill. This fast-growing tree thrives in poor soil, provides quick shade, and can reach impressive heights, with some people admiring its tropical-looking compound leaves. But this beauty hides an ugly secret. It releases allelopathic chemicals into the soil, effectively poisoning it and preventing other plants from surviving nearby. Its roots are incredibly destructive, capable of cracking foundations, uprooting sidewalks, and rupturing sewer lines. Cutting it down often makes things worse. The tree responds by sending up even more vigorous shoots, and the stumps emit a foul, nauseating odor. One mature tree can produce over 300,000 seeds a year. To make matters worse, it's the preferred host for the spotted lanternfly, an invasive pest responsible for millions in agricultural losses. Removal demands not just cutting the tree, but treating the stump immediately with herbicide, often multiple times. Many municipalities have officially listed the tree of heaven as a noxious weed, requiring mandatory removal and imposing fines for noncompliance. Number 8. Purple loosestrife. At first glance, purple loosestrife seems like a dream plant. Its tall, magenta flower spikes bloom for months, draw in butterflies, and thrive in wet areas where many plants struggle. It's easy to imagine it enhancing a pond edge or a marshy corner of your property. But beneath its beauty is an ecological nightmare. A single plant can produce more than 2 million seeds each year, and it spreads both by seed and through aggressive rhizomes. In wetland habitats, purple loosestrife can quickly overtake native vegetation, forming dense monocultures that displace the plants and food sources waterfowl and other wildlife rely on. Entire marsh ecosystems have been destroyed this way. Its spread is so damaging that it's illegal to sell, transport, or plant purple loosestrife in many states. Government agencies spend millions annually on control efforts, and property owners near protected wetlands can face fines and mandatory removal orders. Number 7. Autumn olive. This plant is especially deceptive because it wasn't just sold. It was once promoted by government agencies as a beneficial addition to the landscape. In the 1960s, the USDA encouraged planting autumn olive for erosion control, wildlife habitat, and soil improvement. It produces fragrant flowers, bright red berries loved by birds, and grows well in poor soils. But the birds that eat its berries also spread the seeds far and wide. Autumn olive escapes cultivation easily, taking over prairies, forests, and open land. It leaves out earlier than native plants, shading them out, and forms dense thickets that block sunlight entirely. Each plant can live for more than 80 years and produce fruit for decades, ensuring long-term dominance. Now, the very agencies that once promoted it are spending millions to eradicate it. It's classified as a noxious weed in multiple states, and removal is a slow, persistent battle involving repeated cutting and herbicide treatments. Number 6. Norway maple. A tree so common in suburbs that many people mistake it for a native. But this misunderstanding is devastating our forests. Norway maples are popular for their dense shade, brilliant fall colors, and tolerance of urban pollution. They're often planted along streets and in yards because they grow faster than native sugar maples. However, their dense canopy blocks nearly all sunlight from reaching the ground, making it impossible for understory plants, including vital wildflowers, to survive. They produce a huge number of seeds, which invade nearby forests, displacing native trees and reducing biodiversity. Forest managers consider them one of the top threats to eastern hardwood ecosystems. Some cities have banned planting them, and removal of mature specimens can be costly. Even if you cut one down, the flood of seedlings they produce means you'll be dealing with them for years. Number 5. Non-native butterfly bush. This plant fools even well-intentioned gardeners. It produces long, fragrant flower spikes that butterflies flock to for nectar. It's drought-tolerant, easy to grow, and seems like a perfect choice for supporting pollinators. But here's the truth. While adult butterflies enjoy the nectar, butterfly bush doesn't provide food for caterpillars, meaning it doesn't actually support the butterfly life cycle. Worse, it spreads aggressively by seed, displacing native plants that caterpillars depend on to survive. In other words, it offers junk food to adult butterflies while taking away the meals their young need. Several states classify it as invasive, and it's banned for sale in Oregon. Many nurseries now offer sterile cultivars to prevent spread, but planting native host plants remains the better choice. Number 4. Mint in the ground. Fresh mint in the garden sounds harmless, even charming. Who doesn't want to snip a few sprigs for tea or cocktails? But plant it directly into your garden soil, and you'll quickly regret it. Mint spreads through underground runners called stolons, which can travel several feet in a single season. Once it escapes its planting spot, it will invade flower beds, lawns, and even your neighbor's yard. Just one tiny root fragment left behind can regenerate into a full plant. Gardeners have fought years-long battles trying to get rid of escaped mint, sometimes abandoning entire vegetable plots to its takeover. The only safe way to grow it is in containers, never in open ground. Number 3. Chinese and Japanese wisteria vines are breathtaking. With their cascading clusters of purple, pink, or white blossoms and intoxicating fragrance, they can transform a pergola or arbor into a showpiece. But those romantic vines are also incredibly strong and invasive. Wisteria can strangle mature trees, tearing through bark and cutting off life-giving sap flow. Its twisting vines are strong enough to damage fences, pull gutters away from roofs, and collapse weak structures. Underground, it sends out runners that pop up yards away from the original planting. Removing established wisteria often requires professional arborists, and costs can be enormous. If you want the look without the destruction, plant the Native American wisteria instead. Number 2. Foxglove. Foxglove's tall, elegant flower spikes look like something from a storybook cottage garden. They come in shades of purple, pink, white, and yellow, adding vertical drama to borders and beds. But every part of this plant contains digitalis, a powerful heart-affecting compound. The line between a therapeutic and a deadly dose is frighteningly thin. Children are especially at risk, as the flowers look enticing, and even small ingestions can be fatal. Adults have been poisoned after confusing foxglove leaves with edible herbs. Symptoms include dangerous heart rhythm changes, seizures, coma, and death. Foxglove self-seeds easily, meaning it can pop up unexpectedly where you never planted it, putting unsuspecting people at risk. Number 1. Castor bean. The castor bean plant is exotic, dramatic, and fast-growing, with huge palm-like leaves and eye-catching seed pods. But those seeds contain ricin, one of the most lethal toxins known to science. Just 1 or 2 seeds can kill an adult, and there's no antidote. The danger is so severe that castor bean cultivation is monitored by Homeland Security, as ricin has been used in assassinations and terrorist attacks. Even handling the seeds without gloves is dangerous if you touch your face afterward. Growing them anywhere children might access them is extremely irresponsible. Many states restrict their sale, and ornamental varieties are just as toxic as industrial types. If you have them, they should be removed immediately by trained professionals wearing protective gear. Gardens are meant to be sanctuaries of beauty and relaxation, not hazards waiting to happen. The trouble with these plants is that their dangers aren't obvious at first glance. They look beautiful, they seem harmless, and by the time you realize the damage, it's often too late for an easy fix. Before planting anything new, always research it thoroughly. Consult your local extension office, review your state's invasive species list, and when in doubt, choose native plants that naturally thrive in your region. Natives support local wildlife, demand less maintenance, and won't turn into multi-thousand-dollar nightmares. If you already have one of these dangerous plants, don't panic, but do act quickly. For toxic species, prioritize removal if you have kids or pets. For invasive species, early removal is far cheaper and more effective than battling a full-scale takeover. In some cases, professional help is worth every penny to protect both your property value and your family's safety. If this guide helped you dodge a gardening disaster or identify a problem plant in your yard, tap the like button so more gardeners can find this life-saving information. Subscribe and ring the notification bell here on Golden Years Lifestyle Hub for more smart gardening tips that can save you time, money, and headaches.